Are we on the air?
Ruh-roh. Welcome back to the channel. We're back in the shop today, working on the twin turbo Honda setup. So today we're going to get some oil in the car. Got the OEM filter on there. We just went and picked up some cheap stuff. I usually like to run that through the motor first to get all the assembly lube out, and then we'll put some good oil in it. We're going to fill it up with coolant, and I'm at least going to turn it over and build up some oil pressure, get oil through the turbos, you know, all that good stuff, and get it ready to fire. I think what I'm going to do is put some stock injectors in this for now, fire it up on a stock tune, let it run for a little bit, let it heat cycle a couple times, and then that way the car's running and driving, so when we take it to the dyno, I can actually drive it onto the dyno, and then when we're on the dyno, I'll swap out the fuel injectors, and then we'll start tuning from there. So I think that's going to be the plan. That's what I'm working on today. We're going to get this thing ready for the dyno, get her put back together, and ready to go. As you can see, I still have the seats out in this car. I'm having a couple of fabrication issues with the gas tank and the battery. We're going to get that worked out. And you know, you guys saw earlier the motor's in. I got to change the charge pipe. I had to pick up a overflow bottle for the radiator. Got that taken care of. So a few more things to wrap this car up. The injectors came in. I'm going to put 2200s in it. In the meantime, we've got another P2R J build. It's for my buddy in California. He dropped this motor off a couple weeks ago. Just got the pistons and rods put together. Very similar build to the one that's in that car. Actually not similar exactly. So again, the crank's already, let me pull this off here. I know it's a little noisy because my fan, but cylinders are already bored, cleaned up. I already put the crank in. So we're gonna jump into filing the rods again, or sorry, filing the rings on the ring filer and getting it all cleaned up, cleaning the pistons and rods, and then getting them dropped into the motor. All right, well, we're just kind of getting through this one quickly. We're halfway there, got half of them in, and I know I just did a video about building one of these motors, so I'm not gonna cover too much on this, just same deal, P2R rods, P2R pistons, J35 turbo. This is gonna be a single turbo car. We're using OEM head gaskets on this one instead of the Cometics. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and finish banging this thing out, get these rings filed down, and we'll get this thing put back together, and then I can jump right back on that car. Shouldn't take me more than another hour or two to finish this motor up completely. So we'll jump back in when the thing's all finished up and we get back to work. We got the short block assembled, got all the rods and pistons in, got the ARP studs on. We're gonna go ahead and hi, there's Sherry. We're gonna go ahead and put the head gaskets on and clean the cylinder heads up a bit and get those put back on. I've already installed the oil pump and the water pump, and I'm gonna do the rear main seal, put the oil pickup on, and this thing will be ready to go. All the rest of this stuff, like the intake and all that stuff, the customer's gonna put all that back on himself because it's going back in his buggy. He actually didn't even send me any of that stuff. He literally just brought me the block and the heads for assembly. So this thing will be done today. It'll be ready to go. He'll have this thing back in his car for Camp Razor. So another satisfied, happy friend customer with another P2R build. I was getting ready to put the heads on this thing, and you know, like I told you, my buddy brought me this, and this motor actually hydro locked originally, and it bent a rod. So I was a little nervous about the head, so I decided to take a look at the valves. I went ahead and poured some water down in the ports, and this is what we're getting. So bent valves or seats or something, these exhaust valves are trash. You can actually, I don't know if you guys can catch them on the camera or not, but you can see that there's a gap here on that one. It's open pretty far. So that valve's probably bent. This is probably the side that hydroed. Luckily, I have another set of J35 heads that I was actually just gonna trash that I didn't need, and they're in good shape. So they're on another motor that a rod came out the bottom of it. So I'm gonna pull those heads off, get those cleaned up. I'll water test those, make sure they're good, and then those heads will end up probably on this motor we're still trying to push to get this thing done for my buddy for Camp Razor. So as you guys can see, it's pretty much done. I got to put the heads on it, and then, you know, the rest is pretty much on him. I'll put the remain seal on, but the oil pickup and pan and all that stuff he still has. So I'll put together as much as I can, but we're still pushing forward. But this is what happens. All right, guys, so we're back at the shop today. Got a lot done on this car since the last update. Got the plugs in it, got oil in it, got coolant in it, got the charge pipe cut down. I'm starting to replumb all the vacuum lines for the wastegates, checking out the wastegates and make sure that it's got the right springs in it, and just a bunch of other stuff. New fuel pump is here. I'm replumbing all the fuel lines right now, so I should, before the sun goes down today, be able to fire this thing up and at least let it run. There's some other issues on the inside that I need to take care of. I actually think we're going to ditch this fuel tank altogether. It does not have a sump in it, and that is a big no-no with a car this small that's probably going to wheelie its ass off. It's probably going to wheelie a lot. So when the car comes up like this, all the fuel is going to push to the back of the tank and the pickup will run dry. So we're probably going to ditch this tank and just order one that's already got a sump in it, but it'll do for now for me to be able to fire the thing up and at least let it run, heat cycle it a couple times, get the fans to come on, make sure the fuel system doesn't leak, and then we'll revisit the fuel system after Halloween weekend. So anyways, guys, that's where we're at on this car. It's just about ready to fire up. So when we're ready to kick the tire and light the fire, we'll bring it back in and show you the progress. We're ready for the first fire up. What I went ahead and did was put a stock ECU and some stock injectors in here now, just so I can fire the motor up for the first fire up. I don't have a tune for AEM with 2200cc injectors. I can email somebody to get it, but that'll take me some more time. In the meantime, I've got oil in the motor, I've got water in the radiator, and I got the old oval flood hooked up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the key on prime the fuel system. Looks like we got fuel pressure. I'm gonna go over here and work the throttle manually. And we're gonna go ahead and fire this thing up for the first time. Here we go. Sounds like it's missing on a couple holes. I probably got some injector issues, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at that, and then we'll fire this thing again. So guys, I changed out the coil pack, and unfortunately that wasn't it. It's still misfiring. So it looks like this this injector under here is stuck. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the upper intake manifold off, replace that injector. I got a bunch of stock injectors laying around, and we'll get this thing fired back up. In the meantime, it is running on 5 cylinders. We'll get it running on 6 here in just a minute, and we'll get right back to you. So stick around. I think I found the problem. I found some shredded wires right there on our injector. They were actually touching each other and backfeeding 12 volts to the ECU. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that fixed up, and we'll get the intake back on and get this thing fired back up. I think that was the problem. I went ahead and soldered those wires back up, cleaned them up and taped them and isolated them. We're gonna go ahead and try to fire this thing back up and see where we're at. Find my button here. All right. Yep, running on all 6. Guys, so motor runs. Tomorrow I'm going to put the charge pipe back on, start buttoning up all the stuff back here and buttoning up the stuff on the inside. There's a couple issues in here. I know it's kind of dark, sorry about that, guys. The battery doesn't fit back in the tray properly. I'm going to work that out tomorrow, and then I'm going to call call my buddy in California that's going to tune this car and see if he's got a base tune he can send me for 2200s, and then I'll load that on here and put the injectors in. If not, I'll leave it on the stock ECU and the stock injectors till we get on the dyno, and then we'll put them on at the dyno. So that's where we're at on this car. Tomorrow I'll be putting everything, buttoning everything up back here, putting the seats back in it, wiring up the shift indicator, and then starting to work on the interface for the iPad to the AEM. So this thing's just about done, guys, and I'm just about done because it's dark in here. So we will see you guys tomorrow, and we were going to jump right back on this thing, try to get her done. All right, guys, so we're back, and we're back today at San Limo, and I want to show you guys what Joe's been working on all summer long. He has been working his ass off out here and just killing it on some of these builds. So guys, this is a Monster Cruiser. It's a radius roof car. It's got the new style hood, new style shock mounts, jet trim seats, LS with a sequential. This thing is just, it's just amazing. These cars are badass. So this is kind of the newer style San Limo, newest style, right? Radius roof, suspension geometry is a little bit different. This has got the front shock mounts like you guys saw before in my car. We kind of modeled it after this. And then this is the hood that's going to be going on my car as well. Same hood. So a lot of work this summer, dude. Yeah, so Joe's been killing it. And then my favorite car so far is this copper car. This is another Monster Cruiser. This is a standard roof car. This is your run-of-the-mill San Limo Monster Cruiser, but it's got the black Cera-coated Kings, custom copper paint and powder coat, Holly dash, race radios, jet trim seats as well. This thing's about 90% complete. It'll be ready in the next week or so here, but this is, oh, God, almost forgot the most important part. Joe went above and beyond. You want to show him the doors, Joe? Check this out.
These are pretty cool.
So, full interior panels and doors. I mean, literal doors, guys. You guys can really just literally step right into this car, sit down and drive. And then sand car with doors. And the reinforcement that went into these doors, I wish I could show you guys. The panels aren't there, but now that's right, it's all covered. The reinforcement in the chassis and in the doors is next level on this thing, man. It's really, this is going to be a true car with doors that it won't bend, it won't flex. And Joe went above and beyond on this one too. So this is what he's been working on all summer long. 2 big builds plus 5 or 6 other things plus this one and others. So it's been a long summer, but GLAMIS Fab is starting. We'll see you guys for Halloween weekend, and that's a quick San Limo update. All right, guys, so I had a couple errands to run today. I had to run to the dump and get rid of some of those old engine parts, bad blocks, and some scrap metal I had. And scrap metal spot, and laying upside down was this Predator inverter generator. Now, guys, I just bought one of these. I got a brand new one in the box in my front garage for GLAMIS. And it was, with the warranty and everything, I think it's right around $1,000 is what I spent on it. But this one was literally laying upside down over by the scrap metal at the dump. So you're never gonna believe this, but I literally just switched it to start and I pulled it. And the damn thing runs. It's got fuel in it, it's got oil in it. It was literally someone dumped it. And it's putting out 124 volts. And it looks like it's got 568 hours on it. I cannot believe this. Even the sun shines on a dog's butt some days, boys and girls. So cool free find for the trailer at GLAMIS, and I got a brand new one in the box that I'll just hold on to until I'm ready. All right, guys, so more craziness. I tried to hit the starter button, but you know, it wouldn't start. So I went ahead and pulled the battery out. I pulled the cover off. I was going to take a look at the battery, and these terminals were just sitting there unhooked. Get that in the shade. This battery's never been hooked up before. So this generator's entire life had a brand new battery in it so the start button would work, and it never got hooked up. Crazy. Well, I guess I had some good luck today. I needed to go to the dump, and well, you know, and this is bashed up a little bit, but friggin' who cares? It was free. Hope everybody's having a good day as I am. All right, guys, and in anticipation of Camp Razor, I always like to have my car out there even though I'm working. I went ahead and got, you guys saw that I got the seats in. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to get the back seats done, so I went ahead and put my bench back in, and that'll be good. Definitely a special guest coming out to GLAMIS this weekend. You guys will see in my next video in the title who it is. But we're going to hang out probably and do a little Duning at night when I get off work, so we'll see you guys out there. I'm going to go ahead and bring my car out. Next video is going to be GLAMIS Fab, Halloween weekend, Camp Razor. So you guys stick around for that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.